Sorry, we're starting all over. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to meet here again in continuation with our virtual mentoring program that we started earlier this month. As we all know, this one is a continuation of a mentoring project that we initiated back in 2019 for the best graduating students from the faculties of engineering, computer science, and agri science of Bayero University, Kano. This is a year and a half, so we decided to resume and continue from where we stopped. In the first version of the program, which was physical, we were able to dwell on four major thematic areas: 1 on job hunting, 2 on winning scholarships, 3 on career development, and the 4th one on community service. This is because of the gap that we realize exists between youth or graduates from the northern Nigeria and our counterparts from other regions. And we learned that there are a lot of skill gap, information gap, and other things that we need to bridge before we can catch up. That's the essence of initiating this mentoring project in such a way that we can invite experienced persons to come and share with us what they have learned through their life and what should we do to make our lives better. Today we have Dr. Malami and Dr. Muhammad Hamisu, who will jointly make a presentation on the topic getting the best out of the NYSC scheme, which is going to last, God willing, for 1 hour 20 minutes. We'll be starting with Dr. Malami. Then followed by Dr. Sharif. I want to use this opportunity to introduce our speakers before they take the podium. Dr. Malami is a chemical engineer who graduated from Ahmad Bello University, Zaria. He hailed from Misau. He had his master's, in fact, 2 master's degrees, one from Imperial College London, and the other one from Oxford, from University of Aberdeen, one in oil and gas engineering, and the other master's he had a mini MBA from Imperial College London. He had his PhD from the same university, which is Imperial College London, with a PhD in measurement and modeling of viscosity and density of asymmetric hydrocarbon measures. He worked with, he's a staff of the Ministry of Petroleum, and he has bagged a number of awards, ranging from the NYSC Honors Award, where he got 2 gold medals, cash prize, and automatic employment. And the second one, he also got a PhD scholarship with PTDF and master scholarship with PTDF. You're welcome, Engineer Dr. Muhammad Malami. And the other, thank you very much. The other presenter is Engineer Dr. Muhammad Hamisu, who is a graduate of Bayero University, Kano, from the Computer Engineering Department. He had his master's degree in Computer Security and Forensics from University of Bedford, and same thing is how he had his PhD in Computer Security from the same university. He's a system engineer with the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, Abuja, from 2016 to date. And he also served as a visiting lecturer, Network and Security Administration and Management in the University of Bedford, Oman campus. The same thing, he did the same activity with the Luton campus of the UK. You are welcome, Engineer Dr. Muhammad Hamisu. As we have on the schedule, we are going to start with Muhammad Hamisu, Muhammad Malami, who is going to make the presentation for 40 minutes, and then we take that of Muhammad Hamisu. Muhammad, okay. Muhammad Hamisu is going to make a presentation for 30 minutes, then followed by Muhammad Sharifai. Over to you, Doctor.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much, Mr. Salis, once again for inviting me to make a presentation here. Even though I can see the turnout is somehow very poor, but alhamdulillah, we can just go ahead and continue, because one thing is certain, that you have to believe in the cause you are devoting your time at. Regardless of whatever situation you find yourself, you just have to continue. Thank you very much once again for all the effort you have been making in the past in order to bridge the gap between our young graduates from northern part of Nigeria and their counterparts in the southern part of Nigeria. Really, there is a huge gap. And honestly, without this kind of community service, we cannot be able to bridge the gap. So what I want to call on the participant is to please, whenever there is such an opportunity, try and maximize all the benefit from such kind of programs. Because I got to know that this program is a non-profit organization, and then they are doing all this in order to make sure that they help our younger ones. Thank you very much once again. So I would like to start presenting my slides. I don't know, hopefully I should be able to get through in the next 40 minutes, as the presenter said. So can I start, please?
Yes, sir, you can do that.
Okay. Okay, have you started seeing my screen or yet?
Yeah, it's showing now.
It's showing, yeah?
Mm.
Okay, yeah, presenting to everyone. Okay, so can you confirm what you can see on my screen, please?
Yes, we have seen getting the best out of NYSC scheme. Picture of 4 members taking
exactly. Yes, so this is the presentation. So in the presentation, as you can see, the title page is a picture of NYSC about to be inaugurated. So this is the starting of the NYSC journey. Before this, you have to go through a series of activities and then a series of events. So let me start with okay, even though the presenter has given a brief introduction of myself, I feel it's important to also give a little background of myself. Okay, my education, as the presenter says, I have a PhD from Imperial College London in 2016. Before that, I had a MSc in Oil and Gas Engineering from University of Aberdeen in 2012. I also had another master's degree in petroleum economics from University of Port Harcourt in Nigeria, and my background was in chemical engineering from ATBU. So my work experience to date, I started as a fresh graduate as an employee with the Ministry of Petroleum Resources way back in 2011. And then from there, I was promoted to senior petroleum engineer. And then in 2016, when I got back from my PhD, NNPC seconded me as a quality assurance quality control officer with LNG Investment Management Service Division of NNPC. As part of my professional membership, I am a chartered engineer with Engineering Council, also a chartered member of Institution of Gas Engineers and Managers in the United Kingdom. I am an associate member of Society of Petroleum Engineers, associate member of International Association of Engineers. Also in Nigeria, I am a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers. I am also a registered Korean member. I am registered with Council for the Regulation of Engineering Practice in Nigeria. Also a member of Nigerian Gas Association and a member of Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers. As part of my other professional development courses, I had a certificate in Advanced Project Management for Engineers and Scientists from Oxford University in the UK. That was in 2016. I also have a mini MBA from Imperial College University. So I also had a diploma in computer operations and maintenance. In terms of general skills, I have over the 10-year working experience. I've developed enormous skills in gas, in LNG, software simulations, petroleum, process engineering, and the like. So in terms of awards, like the presenter said initially, I had NYSC awards as NYSC Presidential Honors Award. I also got NYSC State Award as a second best scorer in Batch B 2009-2010 from Kebbi State. And I also won an award for MSc. I mean, I have 3 PTDF scholarships, 2 overseas scholarship, masters and PhD, and 1 local scholarship, masters in 2018. I am a native of Misau local government from Bauchi State. I am currently residing in Abuja. I'm married with 3 lovely kids. So that's brief about myself. So now back to our presentation. The first thing you can see here is NYSC at a glance. So by just mere mentioning of NYSC, what do you expect? So NYSC journey starts from mobilization to posting to state of primary assignments, going to orientation camp, deployment, acceptance or rejection as the case may be, place of primary assignments, group community development services, monthly clearance, personal community development projects, winding down and passing out for it, and then collection of discharge certificates. So in NYSC, there are 4 cardinal programs, or otherwise known as 4 cardinal points of NYSC. That is to say, every core member must pass through these processes before he will be given the certificate. So the first one is you must attend the orientation camp. So you have to go through the orientation course exercise, and then you have to do a primary assignment. You have to do community development service, and then the winding up and passing out parade. So in the subsequent slide, we are going to see much detail about all these 4 cardinal points. So now the first one, the mobilization. Before you will be mobilized to NYSC, you have to graduate from a recognized institution, either at a BSc or a HND level. So, and then you have to obtain a final clearance in your school to indicate that you have graduated, you don't have any carryover. And also you need to get your statement of results ready. You need to sign up for NYSC at the Student Affairs Division of your university. You have to make sure that your name is on the Senate graduations list that will be sent to JAM or no, that will be sent to NYSC for mobilization. And also you should confirm that your name is on the JAM matriculation list. Having done that, you also need to verify your name on the NYSC portal by logging onto the portal www.portal.nysc.org.ng. From there, you print out your call-up letter. You need to get your documents ready. On the call-up letter, you're going to see the details of the state you've been posted to, the details about your orientation camp address, and then you need to plan your journey to the orientation camp because you need to be at the orientation camp latest 3 days after the opening of the orientation camp. So from there, moving on to the next slide. Okay, the next slide is talking about the orientation camp exercise. What is an orientation camp? It's a 21 days of regimented life at the orientation camp, mostly in an isolated environment, far away from your state of origin or from your comfort zone. And then you have to report, like I said earlier, you have to report within 3 days from the camp opening day. On reporting to the camp, you need to undergo through some verification and registration exercises. You need to do a physical verification. You need to do some documentations. You will be given a stock code registration number. You will be given ID cards. And also you're going to be given your kits, the khaki, the jungle boots, and the bikes. And then you will be assigned to hostels and be given mattress and bunk where available. You're also going to meet soldiers. You're going to meet some other camp officials and other fellow corps members. From there, you do the other documentation, such as opening bank account, assigning to platoons. You need to participate in the early morning parades, lectures, participation in camp activities, inter-platoon competitions, and even the man-over activities. The man-over activities, I must say, they are regimented, and if you are not physically if you're not physically fit, I advise you take an exception from that, because sometimes if you undergo through a very rigorous exercise, it could be detrimental to your health. So you know yourself better. If you have any underlying medical condition, please do not participate in the regimented and that rigorous exercise. So what are the objectives of the orientation course? The objectives of the orientation course, as stated by the NYSC, are as follows. 1, to give corps members a better understanding of the objectives of the NYSC scheme and to enable them internalize its ideals. To acquaint members with their environment in their political, cultural, social, and economic settings. Because for some of us, especially those of us from the north, myself included, we never traveled or we never had an opportunity to explore the other side of the country. I mean, the other part of Nigeria, the other southern state and the eastern state. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to explore. And also to prepare corps members for their particular roles in the scheme, to equip them with the practical, social, and leadership skills that will enable them meet the challenges of service here ahead. Another objective is to inculcate in the corps members the spirit of national consciousness as a basic ingredient in nation building. Also to instill disciplines in the youth, because there are soldiers there and man-over personnel. So definitely you're going to have some discipline. To also give corps members adequate physical and mental training, as I highlighted earlier, to imbibe them with the spirit of collective responsibilities. This is also one of the objectives of the orientation camp. It's not just 21 days for you to go and play around. No, there are some invaluable lessons and learning points in the orientation camp. Please, I will implore you to take good opportunity of the orientation exercise. Okay, moving on. So the next one is a place of primary assignment. What is a place of primary assignment? After you are done with the orientation exercise, you will be posted to your place of primary assignment, where you're going to spend most of the service year. So at the end of the orientation exercise, corps members are posted to their place of primary assignment, while the NYSC management takes into consideration the areas of specialization of corps members. Emphasis is placed in rural posting in the areas of agriculture, health, education, and infrastructure. So I must say at this point, those of us from the engineering background, we always want to go and do our NYSC in the engineering related discipline. This is awesome if you can get it. But have it at the back of your mind, this is just a year. Possibly you're going to end up in a classroom teaching and then doing some other things you never imagined. So take it as an opportunity to also to serve your country. So because it happens with me, I wanted to do my service at a refinery, but I ended up being in a classroom. So at the end of the day, I really enjoy my service here. So please don't be annoyed if you have been posted to anywhere. Please make sure, give it your best, and then make sure you do it with your whole heart. So it is expected that the corps members should accept their posting and be agents of change and contributing toward the development of their host communities, regardless of where you have been posted to. And some of you will find themselves in very remote and rural areas. please make sure, don't even hesitate. Accept your posting in good faith, because I know a lot of people will be trying to do redeployment to the comfort zone and whatever. So please, just have it at the back of your mind. It's an opportunity for you to explore the other side of the world, places that you've never been to before in your life. So please take good advantage of that time and do your best. And I know, especially people from the north, sometimes we even go to the extra miles of negotiating with some NYSC official in order to be redeployed in a situation whereby you do not get a redeployment letter. I know some people go to the extent of forfeiting their allowances to the NYSC official just to remain in their state of origin and never participate in the service. So please and please don't do that. Try and do whatever you have been given in your place of primary assignment. Accept it in good faith. You never know what will have come out of it. So, and then, like I said, the next cardinal point is a community development service. In the community development service, we have two categories. One is group CDS, which is called Group Community Development Service, and the other one is Personal Community Development Projects. So in the Community Development Service, you will be assigned right from the camp. You will select, I don't know for now, because at the time I did my NYSC, you have the choice. You decide which of the CDS group you want to belong. There are many CDS groups. There is sanitation, there is road safety, medical, legal, and other and the like. So you choose whichever you want to be. So when you join the group, you're going to embark on some community services. So the community development services aims at harnessing the skills, creativity, and innovativeness of COP members. COP members are expected to identify the needs of their host communities and mobilize members of the host community to embark on the project. This is whether for community for the group CDS or for the personal community development project. The first thing is you need to identify the ills or the problems in your host community and now try to come to the aid of the people in your host community. So through this program, many COP members were able to construct bridges, healthcare centers, classroom blocks, market stalls, culverts, etc. They had also carried out projects like HIV sensitization, adultery literacy campaign, extramural classes for students, road safety campaigns, etc. So COP members participate actively in Millennium Development Goals, MDG, through the War Against Poverty program of the scheme. So you have a number of choices to make. You try and identify whichever one you have interest in and join. Please, the message here is get involved. Get involved in all these kind of activities. You never can tell when it comes back to you. So the next one is personal community development project. For me, during NYSC service here, COP members are encouraged to identify needs in their host communities and propose solutions by writing to appropriate authorities for action or taking it on themselves to make difference. So what this is saying is that after you identify a problem in your host community, there are two ways. If you cannot do it yourself, you can make a recommendation or you can write to the authorities concerned to facilitate or to carry out whatever project in order to solve that problem. So if you feel you can do it as part of your community development service or community development project, which I strongly advise and implore each and every one of you to please do at least one or two of the projects. I think it's a good idea. So you will be required to solicit funds from the local government schools or from the PPA directors. There are place of primary assignments directors, well-wishers, and even from the community. Most of the time, these aids come late or might never come after a number of promises or disappointments. So in essence, You are not expected to carry out any personal community development project with your own money. After all, you don't even have the money. So don't use your allowances to embark on any personal community development project. In fact, if NYSC get to know that you're using your personal money, they will disqualify you. They won't even allow you to continue with the project. So what is expected of you is identify where the problem is, write a proposal, apply, and then you'll be given permission to start soliciting for funds from the members of the society or members of that community. So through the members of that community, you'll be able to fund the project. So before you start the project, the first thing to do is you need to write an application to NYSC. NYSC will review your application, and if they find it very worthy, they will give you approval to continue with the project. So the application process should be accompanied with the following items. One, you need to have an application letter, and you need to also know that the application must not be later than 3 months into the service year. So, and also you need to have a detailed proposal of the project, including the cost estimates, the detailed description of the project, the cost estimate, the beneficiaries, and also in what way the community is going to benefit from that project. So in other words, the viability of that project. Also, approval will be given to you if it meets the required criteria. Then the next thing for you to do is to start soliciting for funds from the community. Then you have to be submitting a periodic progress report. You will also include pictures and other related evidence so that people at the NYSC will be able to ascertain the progress of your project. Also, you need to submit your final report not later than 3 months to the passing out parade. So you also invite the NYSC and host community leaders to commission your project. And the last one, which is also very, very important, you solicit for commendation letter from the communities. You need to get at least 2 or 3 commendation letters. You identify various interest groups, maybe community youth organizations in the community, to give you a recommendation letter to certify that you have carried out that project and it is beneficial to the people. So, and one secret here, if I must say, during my service here, I was able to do at least, I think I did 3 or 4 different personal community development projects. So one of which, as you can see on the pictures on the right, I erected that sign first. And then the picture you can see at the bottom is I invited the community leaders and some of my fellow corps members for a mini commissioning of that personal community development project. So if you are able, I will implore you to please try and do a number of viable personal community development projects, so that even when you leave the community will definitely forever remember you whenever they see the project. So you're going to leave an invaluable or indelible mark in the community. So now the next thing is award and recognition. So, but I must say at this point that you don't do personal community development project just for the sake of awards or for the sake of any recognition. When I started my personal community project, in fact, I didn't even know that there was such an award that will come afterwards. I didn't even know, I'm not aware that NYSC used to give an award. I did what I did just for the sake of contributing my own quota to the community I found myself. So, but in case when you did your project and then you are able to be among the successful one, and NYSC deem it necessary that your application, your project is worthy of award or worthy of any form of recognition, there are about 4 different levels of recognition. The first one is State Coordinators Award. So the State Coordinators Award is just a commendation letter to say that they have appreciate what you have done to the community, the letter or the award letter will come directly signed by the state NYSC coordinator to thank you and to show his appreciation to you on what you did to the community. And the next one is a local government award. Your area council or your liaison officer in the NYSC will write, and in conjunction with the local government authority, they will write a commendation letter to you. And in some cases, they even give some cash prizes. So, and the next level is state awards. If your project is something that also catches the attention of the state government, they can give you an award in that respect. So a state government award is a state government award that comes with a certificate, a money prize higher than that of local government, and sometimes they even give you employment if they found it very worthy. And then the higher level, the next level and the final level is presidential award, which is the final award. Is an award presented by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It usually comes with a certificate, cash prize, scholarship, or instant job offer, as the case may be. So in my case, I serve in Kebbi State. And after I did my personal community development project, I submitted my report and other attachments and even the commendation letters. I think I can remember I got about 5 to 7 commendation letters from the different youth organizations in the community. They certify and commend me of my efforts towards solving some of their community problems. So they gave me a commendation letter. I submitted my final report of the project, and then the state gave me an award as a second best corper of the year during my service here. So the award came with a certificate. They gave me a certificate, as you can see on the right-hand side of the slide, and also some cash donations. I cannot remember exactly. It's around 100,000 or thereabout. And also automatic employment with the state civil service. But because of the distance from my state of origin to where I serve, I declined the offer. And also you got to have a handshake with the state governor at the winding down parade, POP parade. So it's something very, very important to me. I can still remember that. I think that's the starting point of my career, if I would say. So after getting the state awards, at the end of the service year, each of the 36 states will compile a list of the best covers for the 3 batches. During my time, we had batch A, batch B, batch C. Even in batch A, I think they have batch A stream 1, batch B stream 1, stream 2. So they collated all the best 3 from all the 6 batches in the year and sent a recommendation or a nomination for the presidential award. Luckily, my project was the one picked in my batch, so I became a presidential award winner. So the award came with a certificate. Also, as you can see on the right-hand side of the slide, it came with 2 gold medals, with a cash donation of about 200 or 240,000, and then automatic employment. And that is why I started, because I was given an automatic employment. I was posted to Ministry of Petroleum Resources because that I read chemical engineering, so it's relevant to what I read in my first degree. So they posted me there. And also they gave me automatic postgraduate scholarship in anywhere in the world. So as you can see in the picture there, you also have a presidential handshake with the president. So this is something also memorable to me. I can still remember and recall it, all the experiences and the moments. So I think it's important if any one of you can do any personal community development project. So from there, I was also given scholarship award, as I said. I did my MSc at the University of Aberdeen. You can imagine somebody coming from the remote area in Bauchi State, one local government in Bauchi State, and then the first time to travel to the UK. The first journey I landed at the University of Aberdeen to do my master's degree. under PTDF Scholarship Awards. And then it was successful. I graduated at the extension level in 2011. So from there, immediately after my MSc, in fact, toward the last, when I was writing my dissertation, I started the putting of application for PhD. And luckily, I got admission with Imperial College London to do my PhD. The moment I finished my MSc, I went straight to PhD under the same presidential award. So PTDF continued my scholarship with Imperial College London. So, and I think that's about me. So in essence, I think if you have the opportunity, I will encourage each and every one of you to do one or two personal community development projects, because you never can say how or when it will be recognized or where it can be recognized. So in the next slide, you can see the pictures of some other COP members' personal community development project. This one that catches my eye is a project done by, is currently being undertaken by a COP member, I think, in Bauchi State. She's trying to construct or to build, I think it's a medical facility. Okay, yes, yeah, medical facility here. So you can see it's a very big one, and it's something that I believe the community will definitely applaud her for that effort. It's something, you know, I really like doing something voluntarily, volunteer work for the sake of the community, and without expecting any reward from somebody. So that's another one. Okay, the next one you can see personal CDS from another COP member. This one is in form of skills acquisition. So there is no limit as to what you can do in a personal community development project. It could be like erecting or building a complex or maybe 2 blocks of classroom, or even carrying out an extramural lessons for some students, or if you have a particular skill that you can teach some other students, I think it's also important. I remember vividly also during my time, I participated in MDGs. I facilitated a project, a training of about 150 secondary school students, which were being enlightened in all the MDG goals. So that's also part of my personal community development project. So in a nutshell, community development project is not only about building a gigantic facility, but it can be, like you can see the next slide. This one is a core member. He did about 4 personal community development projects. The first one being he constructed a signpost of a local government secretariat. He also donated educational material to 250 pupils, and also organized entrepreneur training for 66 undergraduates and fabrication of 2 bulletin boards for undergraduates. So during my service here, the first one I did is a signpost, the one I've shown you in the earlier slides. And then the second one, I provided, I think about 60 desks and chairs, furnitures to the school where I sat. And also I provided 3 sets of computers, and also I constructed a public toilet, and then the training of 150 youths for the Millennium Development Goals. So this is so far. The next slide is talking about winding up and POP, which is the last cardinal point of the NYSC. So each and every COP member is expected, having gone through the orientation camp, the place of primary assignment, having done the community development service, you are also expected to participate at the winding up, passing out parade. So that is to say, you have to come physically to collect your certificate of completion. So I must say at this point that some of our younger ones, especially even during my service here, I remember a friend was trying to discourage me that why are you trying to spend your money in a foreign land? I mean, in an environment that is not yours. And then he was trying more or less like to discourage me to stop spending my money. I told him that I have I have a vision. My vision is not that spending my money alone. At any given opportunity, I will try and participate in any form of volunteer work because that gives me joy. Whenever I help a fellow human being in whatever capacity, I drives happiness and I always get better myself. So I replied to him that I'm doing it for a good cause. And I know the reason why I'm doing it. And after all, I'm not using my personal money to sponsor the project, as I said earlier. So for me, it's a year well spent. And after the service year, I remember vividly the community almost in fact they didn't like it when I did a farewell to them. They always wanted me around. In fact, they even proposed to give me to marry me one of their daughters. So all these things you can get from your service here. And again, one other aspect that I have not touched about or have not touched on is the area of networking. During the service here, you get to meet people, different personalities from different background. Some you've never met before, you have never crossed paths with. So please and please try and get involved in whatever activity. In as much as the activity is something good, is something I mean, something good that you are willing to do. Please try and participate, especially you get people from maybe southern parts of the country, mingle around and then network. You never can tell who you are going to meet tomorrow or who is going to help you tomorrow. So with this, I will say thank you very much for the opportunity given to me. And I think I will be available to answer any question or any clarification or any observation. Thank you very much once again for the opportunity. I don't want to exceed the 40 minutes given to me, but I have a lot of other things to say. But just to respect the time, thank you very much, Mr. Salisu, and I really appreciate. I'm looking forward to your questions and comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad Malami, for your time, insightful presentation. We've really learned a lot, and we pray that the benefit is going to be extended to all other donors in this presentation. But we would invite Dr. Muhammad Hamisu to take the second part of the presentation before we round off. Muhammad Hamisu, welcome.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, Salaam alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. At least from my part, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I can't hear you well. I don't know whether it's from your audio.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe you need to speak up a bit because the audio is a bit faint.
Okay, can you hear me now?
It's still very low.
A bit better, but you can do better than this, I think.
Okay, thank you. First, let me say thank you so much, Malam Salisu, for organizing this program, and thank you again for inviting me and all the participants. Malam Malami, Dr. Engineer, thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. Even I myself have learned a lot from that, and I think it's a very wonderful presentation. Hello?
We can hear you. We are with you.
So I think before I even go deep, I think Engineer Dr. Malami has already explained virtually everything, and because he discussed it in detail, and those are the steps and from NYSC to CDS. So maybe I think for the sake of time, I might like to share some one or two personal experience that I got from my own side during the project and during the NYSC. I think like Engineer Malami mentioned, there is lack of awareness and as well kind of negligence and lack of discipline, I can say, because some of our people easily seek for transfer, and I think it's one of the things that disqualify person from being eligible to got the award. Once you transfer, what we call relocation, and unfortunately lack of staying, you are not present, like he rightly mentioned. We are very aware. Some of our colleagues will even forfeit their own what do you call it, alawi, just for the sake that they will run and go back home. That is another issue. So people need to know about that, and we should try to have a broader idea about the world, even Nigeria. There is no reason why even people that are posted in the north, you can see some of our people will still seek relocation or will go back. E.g., I serve in Bauchi State, where engineer came from myself. So I serve in Bauchi State. I'm originally from Kano, but unfortunately, I see people. I know people that we serve together. We were posted there, and they seek relocation back to Kano or Jigawa State. From Kano to Bauchi, for God's sake, how many minutes? Just one state from Jigawa, you are in Bauchi. They still seek for relocation. While you will see people from other side of Nigeria, Abia, Ebonyi, Rivers, they stayed there and they did the service. So that discipline, guys, here we need to be more serious, and our people need to focus. There is a lot of opportunity in Nigeria. NYSC is definitely one of them. Like engineer mentioned, try to identify what the community needs. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, there are lots of challenges. So I think identifying a problem is not really a big deal. Look at the area, the environment, what are their needs. For example, I will give you my brief experience. When we went into the camp, in my life, I have never heard of NYSC CDS project until my final year in university, where one of my friend asked me where he can get this concrete chairs. When he asked me that, I told him where we bought it because I was serving in the student union. So from there, I that's where I first heard of NYSC Community Development Project. I wasn't aware of it at all. From there, I was posted to Bauchi State, and part of the orientation, like Engineer Malami pointed, and that's why it's very important for everyone to attend most or all the events, because there are a lot of information, and information is power. Once you have information, you can use it for your own use. So from there, in the NYSC orientation camp, that is where I will never forget this. I came to know about NYSC CDS project. Our state coordinator um, discussed about it. He told us a story of a lady. I will never forget this, and maybe I will share it with you. Whereby he said she served in Nasarawa State. She is from, I think, Southeast. She built a secondary school, I think, yeah, and they were so happy. So he told us at the end she was selected and successfully got the President Honors Award. And he told us that part of the benefit, just like Engineer Malemi mentioned, that is the first time I had all this benefit. He said there is a presidential handshake, there is money, automatic employment, automatic scholarship. We were smiling then. I remember we were waiting for cash, for money, and he laughed and he said, "You Nigerians, you always everything is money." He said, "Do you know what it takes to shake hand with the president?" I never forgot this story because that was the real inspiration. Something like this. He said, "Do you know if you are lucky to shake hand with Mr. President out of how many millions Nigerians?" He even mentioned the story of Bill Clinton shaking hand with John F. Kennedy, President of the United States. He said, "That's the power of shaking hand of a president. You can become a president yourself." We laugh, but I remember this, the information there when he was sharing this story. It was in my head, and then I was saying, this is a very good opportunity. Maybe I should try this. And I can recall we were more than maybe 1,000 there. Everybody was shouting, "Yeah, we are going to do it." Within my friend cycle that I developed, I later found friends within our cycle in the camp. We were more than 50, and everybody was saying, we are going to do. But unfortunately, I happened to be the only person who actually strive to do it. Uh, and that's the difference between having an idea and implementing it. I was so into it, I believe all what he said, and I will never forget the day the president invited us. Even the handshake, I just remember this is something I imagine. It all started from like a story, like now we are discussing with you. That was the inspiration, and you can get it. You see, when engineer Malami was showing all his, because I did not prepare a slide, but when he was showing his own, everything similar to mine, this is my certificate. When I saw it, I was smiling because it's the same process. Look at me with the president as well. Uh, so um, it's almost that's me during my NYSC days, and then that's us. So it's the same thing. As we are speaking with you now, the process is the same. I got my own scholarship. I was posted to Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. I got scholarship as well, automatic, masters, PhD, and yeah, cash. So and then the gold medal and the presidential handshake. So I think my fellow young brothers and sisters, try to take this thing serious. It's a very good opportunity. Like you've seen, I never knew engineer Dr. Malemi, and he followed the same process and he achieved the same thing. I followed the same process, I achieved. So here I want to stress on you guys to please take this thing serious. It's an opportunity. Unfortunately, I can't talk about Bauchi, but for Kano, I know we have been wasting opportunity because during our own time, I was the only person from Kano State. It was 2012, 13, 14. 3 years, which is 9 batch ABC. But unfortunately, I'm the only person. And each year you are entitled to, I think, 2 people per state instead of us to have six, 2 times 3. But we end up having one, wasting 5. I will never forget this. This is the list. You see, I have the list of all our this during our time. And when you go through the list, you can see we are left behind. And I think that's why I'm happy to attend this, because we need to change this. This is a wasted opportunity. We are wasting opportunity. Look at this. This is the whole. This is state of origin, as you can see, state of service. Where you see Edo having 2, Ekiti 2, Enugu 2, you come to Kano. I'm the only person. Uh, I don't know, engineer Malemi. You see, even I think Bauchi, do you even have? Uh, you see, okay, Bauchi, the same thing. Only one person. Uh, if you go to Jigawama, is 0. Nobody from Jigawa, nobody from Zamfara. We are left behind. This is the to this day I keep this for record. Please, my fellow brothers and sisters, we need to take this thing serious. I knew nobody in NYSC. I knew nobody in the presidency. I just did the right thing based on what I had the information at hand, and I implement, and I was selected. Had it been other people did the same thing, they will be chosen as well. Please try and utilize this thing. I know there is a complaint of unemployment within the youth, this thing, that, this. You see, there are a lot of opportunities. Sometimes we are not utilizing it. This is one. Yeah, like I said, during my time, I was the only person from Kano. I was not happy. While others said I saw 6, 7, some with even 8. I was the only person. All of us now are in the civil service. Um, Most of us have started their PhD or nearly done with it. They have finished their masters. So tell me, how can we balance this? And we are just wasting. I will never forget this. When I went for documentation, one of the ladies in the Federal Civil Service Commission, she said, "Look at Kano State. You have the highest population, but you have the least number of awardees." She said, "Only one." Well, I will never forget. She's from Plateau State. That thing struck me, and I will keep repeating myself. Please and please and please, the main aim and objective and the purpose why we are here today is to share this information so that you will take advantage of this thing. If you didn't do it, nobody will take Kano's slot. It will be a waste, while others will take. It's just like, for example, senatorial seat, to use political term. If you did not send a senator or reps in Abuja, nobody will go and represent your state. And the same thing with here. And government are investing huge money. Uh, so please, let's take this thing serious. There are a lot of opportunities. Myself, I did my own project. Uh, I served in Bauchi State, like I said. I was posted to das local government. I'm sure Engineer Malami is no das. So I served in das local government, Bauchi State. I was even posted to another remote area in das called Wandi, where I was supposed to teach computer science because I studied computer engineering. And I remember very clearly the first day I arrived, the principal was saying, Copper. I said, "Sir, I will go home and rest. After 2 weeks break, I will come back." He laughed and he smiled and he said, "I am sure you are running, you will not come back." I said, "Why?" He said, "How many club members have we seen like you telling me the same story? We will go and come back. I will never see them. While you have been allocated class and you are our hope and the only teacher, because this is a rural school." I said, "Sir, I'm coming back." He said, I said, "Yes, give me copper slot, everything, I will come back and teach." He was not sure. I think he was really doubting me. I came back, and for almost throughout that 1 year, I only go back to Kano when is really necessary. I stayed there. And while teaching them computer science, uh, I asked the student questions, and they were all looking at me like, I said, "Are you not with me? Do you not know this thing from your background? Maybe JS1, 2. You should know all those things." They said they don't know. I said, "So how did you pass exam and you are in JS3?" Then they keep quiet. I went and asked the principal. He said, "Copper, let me tell you the truth. You know, computer is practical. We don't have computer. So during exam, we just give these children answer so that they will pass." I said, "Oh, that time my head was very hot from university." I finished my engineering. After all those years of struggle, I say, "Hey, me, I will never do this. Oh. You have to read and pass exam. Me, I will never give anybody answer." There was a mild drama. He said, "So you want all your children, your younger brothers and sisters to fail?" I said, "No, I want them to pass, but I want them to pass knowing what they are supposed to know." He said, "Okay, how can we resolve this?" I said, "Okay, we need a computer lab because computer is not theory, it's practical. So we need practice, then I will put them through and I will make sure they know it, then they will pass the exams." He smiled and said, "Copper, you, so how can we get a computer lab in this remote area?" That's what he told me. I said, "Sir, let's try. Maybe if you will support me, I can do a community development project and establish a computer lab." He said, "You have all my support. So far, we don't have money. I cannot give you money, but apart from money, anything I will support you." And that's how the idea started. I initiated the project. Like Engineer Malami said, you write proposal, send it to the NYSC Secretariat, State Secretariat. It was approved. That's how I started. I will meet this person in the local community, that person. That's how I start. I will never forget. At a point, I nearly give up because I met someone, a person from the community. He was working in Bochi. I think he was the MD of one of the state agency. I asked him to support us, and he promised. There was a day I went to his office as a reminder. The way he treated me, I will never forget that. He It wasn't a nice experience. I don't even want to remember. He chased me out of his office while there were many people there. Get out. You don't need to remind me. This thing is your own personal project. I didn't ask you to do things like that. I was on my way. I just gave up. I said, see, I will not do it. It's not for my children or my people. Like engineer Malami said, those are people's idea. That me, I'm not even from Bocho, so what's my own? Let them go and deal with their problem. Those were the thought on my way. When I went home, I settled, I cooled down, and I remember I don't have any people. All human beings are my people. Those people I'm saying they are not my people, they are my people. Especially they are young people, innocent, they need opportunities. So I still move on. I use part of my own money, try to mobilize people. I build a computer lab. My own story, I even use my physical strength to to put blocks. I was like a bricklayer. All the paintings I do it with my hand. I was able to mobilize youth within the community. I try to be so humble and friendly with the youth, and that's my story. Wallahi, they support me with their own. There are bricklayers. This one will say, "Oh, I was the CLO then." He will say, "CLO, I will help you put 30 blocks. I will do this." That's how I was really mobilizing them. It doesn't have to be you have to commit huge resources. When I did my project, Gaskia, I did not commit huge resources. It was mainly my ability to mobilize resources. And I say resources, it can be money, material, man labor, physical. And that's how we got there. At the end, I finished building the computer lab, um, did all the roofings, painting, and then I got 6 computers with printer, with even generator, scanner, everything. And it was commissioned. And I keep teaching them. And then I even organize computer classes for the youth. So after school closed, some of my friends that I developed friends in that community, they will come. In the evening, I will teach them how to use computer. And that's how we started. Yeah, after I finished, I still keep contact with them. Even while I come to the UK for my master's and PhD, whenever I went to Nigeria, I try to find time and visit this. In fact, when engineer Malami said he is from Bauchi, I smiled because all Bauchi people now, I love Bauchi people. Bauchi is my second home because that's where I got this opportunity and people really helped me. And that's it. So you can see it's not sometimes you have to have money or you have to, it's just you utilizing the opportunity, trying to say, I will do this. One good thing is you now have the information. During our time or my time, I don't even know until when I went to the camp. And one thing I noticed is some of our colleagues that are from southern part of Nigeria, especially, they start NYSC well prepared. Wallahi, they know this information. They even know what to do. They are well prepared, and that's maybe one of the difference. Please and please and please, my brothers and sisters, take this thing serious. Wallahi is part of our problem. It's just the information and seriousness. Like Salisu was saying, maybe some of our people now are there watching Premier League or something. See, we are in the UK now. If you want to watch Premier League, you will go. I went to Manchester, Etihad, all those, Old Trafford. You can even have the opportunity, do the right thing at the right time. Later, you will do all those things, even if you are interested. But for now, take things serious. See the attendance, for example. It's not an issue. I don't mind, but take this thing serious. Wallahi, no connection. I knew nobody, no one. I wasn't even PDP or political aligned, nothing. And I got this opportunity. The same thing with engineer when he was telling about his own story, showing his gold medal. I remember I showed you the same thing. So just all you need to do is just do this thing, do the right thing. You will end up arrive at the same place. And luckily, unfortunately, I'm happy to tell you that Um, I finished NYSC 2013, and I got the award in 2015. September. We were the last set which President Goodluck Jonathan, like Engineer Malami, gave the award. And after he gave us the award, I left. So even though while I left, because I I was happy during the NYC award, but guess yeah, I was sad because of what I saw, how our people lack of participation. So I keep talking. I try to meet our governor, some people that are influential, to tell them how we are misusing this opportunity, and I keep talking any opportunity I have. So through that, I was able to mentor 4 COP members, including my own sister. And I'm glad to tell you that the recent NYSC award they did, one of the person I mentored in Kano as well was selected, and he got the president award. So I think, and it's the same information I'm telling you. Maybe I just was putting him through, making sure he's doing the right thing. And I'm happy to mentor any one of you, anybody, those that are here and those that are not there, with engineer or with Salisu. He can share my contact with you. I'm happy. So out of the 4, one recently got it. My sister, she got the state award in Bauchi, or not, Sokoto, and their set was not included in this recent award because they just select 3 years. So maybe hopefully she might get that as well, because she even won the Sultan of Sokoto award as the best COP members in Sokoto. So yeah, it's mentorship, and that's what we are doing now. And I think all of you, it's an opportunity. Please take it serious. You can do it. Trust me, believe me. I was not better than any one of you. It was just the zeal trying to translate your dream into reality, and that is what took me where I am. And I'm sure it's the same story with Malami, Engineer Malami. So basically, this is all I have to say. For any information, I think I agree with what Engineer Malami shared in the slide, and I did not prepare my own slide, but it's exactly what he shared is the same. Maybe a variation of our stories, what to do, how to choose your relevant area, what people need, what not to do, e.g., like relocation, things like that. Those are things you need to be aware of, things that can easily uh, maybe spoil your chances from the beginning. But apart from that, I think everything Engineer Malami said on that slide is correct. That's the procedure. And yeah, Salisu can share our contact in case you need mentorship or you have any other question. Now you can ask your question, I'm sure. So far, this is my story. And thank you for listening. Salisu, over to you.
So thank you very much, Engineer Muhammad Malami and Engineer Muhammad Hamisu, for having time to share your experiences with our younger ones. As you kept mentioning that we are poorly represented, and that's what saddened me. And I really felt it based on the experiences of going to job interviews and so many other things that we are doing in Nigeria. I really participate in a lot of things, even though some are, I am successful, while others I felt in. But what I really observed is that our people are poorly represented. And one of the points that I underscore there is that we lack information, we lack mentorship, because you can always learn from when you see it practically. For instance, somebody that saw you, either saw Hamisu or saw Malami, and heard about the achievements that you made. This is how you do it, this is how you did it, and it's even practical. Our people can be able to pick, and that's why I initiated this project, and I'm committed to it. No matter what is going to happen, what I believe is that I will be treating people as if I'm a psychiatrist, that you give somebody medicine and he will start hitting you. I will continue to push till we change this narrative, inshallah. And I thank you, and inshallah, we will continue with this project, and I will continue to look for your support wheresoever I find it necessary. This recording, inshallah, I'm going to share it on the platform, and I'm sure people will have time to go over it, and we don't know who is going to benefit. My belief is that even if it's only one person that we're able to change through this kind of efforts, it's worth it, because you'll be able to change another person and the chain will continue. But leaving this sense just in the cupboard may, we will only be lamenting, and the problem will keep piling and the gap will keep widening. Thank you very much for your time. And I believe that's the essence of initially what you call it, okay, inviting for the presentation to share your experiences so that our younger ones will learn. I saw Muhammad Awal is raising his hand. Muhammad Awal, over to you, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Mine is just to forward my thanks to the two engineers for the time they spent. Really, it was really an educative and interesting lecture, and to the organizers for organizing this very great event. So actually, I'm serving in Delta State, Asabada as the capital to be precise. And then actually most of these are opportunities to showcase your talent in community development services are more enormous in rural areas. So for us in the capital cities, most of these opportunities aren't there. And for now, I'm like in my 4th month. So I've not started processing anything yet. So, but still with that, at least I have gained 1 or 2 things that I can add to the things I'm doing now. And alhamdulillah, currently I'm the president of National Emergency Management Agency, CDS. We're doing good. We're working with the national, that's the national body, NEMA and the SEMA. Things are going right, and we have future projects that's as a group to make sure that we impact on the host community. So alhamdulillah, I'm just grateful, and may Allah reward all of you abundantly.
So thank you very much, Muhammad Awal, for your words. I don't know whether Dr. Malami or Muhammad Hamis will have a word to encourage Muhammad Awal to pursue this kind of dream. I'm sure being in the urban area, you still have a lot of things that you can offer. Over to you. Muhammad Malami, I saw you raising your hand.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Salisu, and thank you very much, Muhammad Awal. I heard you very well, and then you're saying that you are serving in the state capital. Really, yes. If those serving in the state capital, they have slim chances of getting the award. But even at that, you still have an opportunity to contribute your own quota. Like I usually say, it's not all about the award. Wallahi, when I started my personal development project, I am not even aware. That's going back to what Mr. Hamis was saying. I'm not aware there was such a thing like a presidential award. I was doing that project for just to help the community and just to serve my own quota during my own time. Wallahi. And I can remember vividly my fellow corps members were even yapping at me and said, look at this corps member, he's just struggling, you know, he's doing all a lot. After all, he's going to leave the community. But that is not, that they did not distract me from what I was doing, because I know I was doing it for good. And coming to you, I mean, even the state capital, you just look around. Like you said, you are involved in group community development projects. Just look around. You can definitely find 1 or 2 things that you can contribute. The whole aim is not about the award, but it's about serving community, serving your people, serving humanity. And like Mr. Hamisu said, Dr. Hamisu said, we are really lagging behind, because even during our time, I can remember vividly, I think we are only 3 from the north. I don't know if you know the 2010 sets of the presidential award. I myself from Bauchi, there is 1 person from Kano, and then 1 person from Adamawa or Oyola, I think. Yeah, Adamawa. So we're only 3 from the north. And part of this thing is we are lacking in awareness. I mean, we didn't have the luxury of this kind of mentorship or this kind of talks that will guide us through. So this is, but you now you have the opportunity because you get someone to talk to you, and to you, Mr. Salisu, please, I will beg you in the name of God, never relent in the effort you are putting together. I know sometimes it could be frustrating. You are trying to help your community, your people, but nobody is recognizing that. In fact, even the people you are trying to help, they are not helping themselves because if you look at the turnout now. So please, just believe in the cause you are doing, what you are doing. It's not about the people you are serving. I believe nobody is paying you for this. But always have this encouragement that I am doing it for the sake of humanity, and one way or the other, it will come back to you in an unexpected way.
Thank you very much, Dr. Malami. Inshallah, I've taken that, and that's my resolution. It's really frustrating. You're trying to help people, but they are not even seeing that one. As I said earlier on, I'm just doing it as if somebody is sick. If somebody is sick, when you come to inject him, he will start running away, or he will start looking the other way. But you just have to do it because otherwise you keep bearing the pain. Whenever I saw this kind of statistics
Definitely.
around,
Definitely.
it's really frustrating, and we are committed, inshallah, to turn things around. With your support, inshallah, we are going to make a lot of changes in the community, and how even our people are going to do that. It will amaze you to know that the people that are in the, what do you call it, that were invited to the training were all either first class or people with 4 points and the rest of it. People that have at least put some efforts and show some level of commitment in their life, willing to go higher, and that's why they are selected for this kind of activity. But look at how things are turning. But inshallah, we'll keep doing it till we arrive at our desired destination. Thank you very much, Dr. Malami and Dr. Hamisu, for your time. May God bless this effort, and may He put barakah in whatsoever you contributed. Thank you very much. And Muhammad Awal, for your time. We are grateful for to have you in this session, and I hope you're going to encourage your colleagues and friends to participate in the subsequent batches of the presentations that we're going to be making. Thank you very much, and God bless. Wassalam. Wassalam.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dr. Muhammad Hamisu.